face.
What is going on with this side of my face? Is it dirty? Do I have blood on my face?
No.
Liar.
I don't see any.
Oh. Y'all, I just stubbed my toe.
Why would you do a thing like that?
Because I wanted to. See, I
I
felt dead inside. And so just to get a little bit of feeling, I kind of like stubbed my toe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it still hurts. I'm pretty sure I might have just broken my toe. On a door frame. Of all things to break on. Out of my whole entire day. That is the bone in the body. In the body of Christ.
What is going on here? Why won't it let me?
Owie. Mommy. I'm glad nobody's in here.
You don't know that.
My toe.
I don't know why that won't just like post.
I'm gonna need you to get out of here, Lagatha.
Poor Lagatha.
I'm like, it hurts so bad.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Hey, look who's here.
Masonic!
What up?
What up, brother? I'm not. See that? This side of my face is like all red. This is the side she hit me.
I probably need to scoot so you can get
Oh
in.
my gosh.
Luke, can you hear us? I know last week we had a couple of issues with the with the microphone, so
I'm gonna be upset if there's like a bruise on the side of it. See it?
it does look like it's red. It's hot. Well, your whole face is hot though. Not that kind of hot.
I'm so sorry for the two people that just witnessed that.
Lagatha.
It's the token black dog.
She thinks that this is like a girl's thing, so she's going.
Put all over me.
Hey, Paul, what's up?
See,
I am half tempted to take this one off of her, go out there and swap it out with the one that's on Dum Dum's head, and then bring that other one in here so we can. I know, so we can untwist it. Here and see you good.
Okay, it's still there in like an hour.
I can. My right earbud won't work, but I think that's on me.
I've had that happen before.
So, this weather.
Nasty, and I hate it.
I am so confused on how everything is being projected. We had snow like a week ago, a little over a week ago.
10 days.
And then I keep seeing our local Facebook page has been saying like that Georgia DOT has already been out, sorry guys, brining the road, which is basically salt water mixture to make it so that it doesn't freeze. But for the longest, I have seen absolutely no chance of precipitation on our, like I've been watching it. And now all of a sudden, now it's creeping in that there might be snow flurries or there might be accumulation. And it's like,
there might.
We've just gotten to a point where we're just not even going to, like we've noted that it's going to be cold. We've noted it's going to be windy.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've taken the proper precautions to prepare for that. One of the biggest ones, at least for me, was we have our livestock guardian dog outside. And when the snow came, and we knew it was going to be heavy precipitation, we put a shelter out for him that basically gave him a roof. Okay? And that was more for my peace of mind because that stinking dog
stayed out the entire
laid on
time
top of the
on
tin
top
roof.
Of the tin roof, just sitting there looking at us like, I don't even know why you put this here. You know for a fact I'm not gonna do anything about it.
However, here's the thing about livestock guardian dogs.
Yeah, I'll wait for you to get done.
They can do wet. They can do cold. But wet and cold together, not a good mixture. And that's really for just about any animal that's used to being outside in the winter. So they have to have some kind of shelter. And so I wanted just to make sure he had a roof. Now, this week, the temperatures are dropping. They're getting colder. But the other problem is the wind. And so in the past when we've had Gizmo outside, when it's been cold like this, he's had somewhere to go in to get out of the wind.
In, under, around,
yeah,
inside.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, one time he had this big square, like, I mean, it was a great shelter.
We made him a dog house.
It was beautiful.
It's great. It's made out of recycled
pallet wood.
It was white.
Nice and roomy.
Nice and roomy.
You know what he
get
did?
in there and cuddle with it. He got on top of it. And he broke it because he's fat.
He broke it to the point where we only had, like, instead of it being like this, it was like a teepee. And so he did that for the longest time. And then the problem with that was his stinking butt would get on top of the apex.
I found that, by the way.
Yeah?
It's still intact.
Yeah.
It's just behind the shop. We
probably should just put that out there.
Put that right back in
so
there.
then he just decided he was going to stand on top of it. Yeah. Now, it shouldn't really be too much of a surprise because Great Pyrenees are dogs that, like, way back, they're mountain dogs, and so they're used to being on top of things and seeing things from a higher perspective.
Well, really, they're sheepdogs essentially.
Right, and so
they're supposed to be able to be around sheep that are on the side of a mountain.
Right, and so they're able to, like, walk in tight spaces with not very much to be able to put their paws on.
I remember being so frustrated with him when we were still trying to figure out everything with him, and we would have him in the shop, and he would crawl up the door in a space like this big
and get out.
He would crawl through the door and
run
and make havoc.
It was awful, and so we built him this, and we didn't really build it. We had a small shelter that we had built for our turkeys.
Pause. We did build it. We just built it for the turkeys.
Hold on. Yeah, we built it for the turkeys a while back. And so it's not very tall because we have noticed that Gizmo likes to, like, burrow. And so we weren't worried about it being a big, huge, tall area. Lagatha, come. Get in your hole. And so we weren't really concerned about it being super tall, right? And so that was what we had for her, or for him. Well, now that the wind is coming, we decided that the best thing to do would be to cover 3 sides of it so that he has a windbreak, because it's not so much that I'm worried about just the shelter of just having a roof as much as I am him having some windbreak.
Turn it around.
Get down in there. Lay down. So that's been taken care of. We also put some tin up
around Louise's pen
because we've been redoing that area so that it's more stable and more sturdy.
Yeah, all the pallets that we've been getting, like the big long ones that are like 12 feet by like 3 feet, I think they were 12 by 3.
Yeah, something like that.
We've been framing in the hay barn, one for Louise and the other for when we actually make it into a milking barn.
Right. And so the thing with that is that because it's made of pallets,
got a lot of holes in
it's, there's not holes, but it's just the way, it's not solid.
I mean, they are
And,
holes.
right, and so basically what they've done, but the nice thing about it being a pallet is you have, like, it's alternating, and so you have a lot of wood to be able to screw things into, and so we're able to we have a bunch of tin that we found around the property and stuff that we've used in the past that we're no longer using, and so whenever we're deconstructing something we've built, if we can salvage the material, we try to do that, especially tin. That's a big one.
Yes. Most of the tin that we have actually came off of the back of the old hay barn.
Okay. Yeah.
And it came from that, we used to have a building that was right beside.
Well, it was one big long. Yeah.
Essentially, these people tried to run like a puppy mill or something and just had that's what it was. When we first got here, there were puppies in that whole entire building. Yeah. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember there being puppies. Anyway, there was a lot of tin, and so as we started breaking it down, what?
I'm just trying to figure out if I'm talking about the right thing.
I don't think you
I
are.
remember that there were puppies in that building. I remember they had a dog that had puppies in that building.
No. You're making that up somewhere in your alternate reality. No, because remember we had it all built.
Yeah, and I remember
it's where we had the
ducks
chickens and ducks
because they had that. There was the building, the small building that we had the feed in.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that was there because there was always snakes in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then right beside it, there was area like in front, and then there was chicken wire with a door.
Right, so like a coop or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so when we started breaking that all down, we tried to salvage as much of that tin as we could, and so we've been able to take that tin and piecemeal it together so that there's a little bit of a windbreak for Louise.
And if we want to get real like technical with it, we can go in there with some caulk or whatever and get the holes up, but it's literally probably about maybe 8 feet tall.
What?
The wall.
How did that go again?
See, this is why I'm here and you're out there.
Jason, is that you? Yes. It's certainly not me.
I need you to go lay down. I love you, baby, but come here. Let the people see you. Hi. Look at the camera. No. Okay. Everyone say hello to Lagaful. I'm going to pickle.
Wow, 8 feet, really?
Hey, I'm not the one that had to go like this to put the tin up, so.
Well, I get that. I think you need to go out into the living room. She's just...
Get out. Get out.
Go out into the living room.
Wonder how tall I am.
In Dessa's world.
3 feet.
Can you call her, please?
Get out.
Thank you. Anyway, how are you feeling at Big Bear Homestead? Anyway, so we got that somewhat squared away. The other big thing was keeping everything warm. And I keep seeing on everybody's posts about it being cold, I see so many people complain about their thermostat, like the argument back and forth about, oh, my wife wants to keep it on 68 and I want to keep it on 72.
You're a psychopath. You're a psychopath if you have it on 68.
Why?
That is cold.
Says the person who has to, we wake up every morning and it's like barely 60 sometimes in the house.
I'm not saying that that's not cold. That is freezing. Person with the cold allergy gets to make up the temperature of the house.
You're making it up.
I'm making it up. That's my bad. I'm sorry. I need to make my apology video.
And I want to open a window. I know, right? So I went just before the live stream. I had to run into town and go get some stuff. And I did not take a jacket or a sweatshirt or anything. I was just in my short sleeves. And I was getting all kinds of stink eye about, like, do you not know how cold it is out there? And I'm like, perimenopause right here. Like, I don't care. This feels amazing.
You just want attention.
I wanted so bad to just jump in ice bath for like 5 seconds because I was did you run or drive?
Can you let the other people in the live stream comment, please? I'm seeing a lot of yellow.
If you don't want to be in the live, you shouldn't be in the chat. Just saying. So give them a hard time. But yeah, I went into town and are you gonna fart?
No.
Oh.
I heard the.
It's set up. I'm not going into the ice bath. It's not happening. Speaking of ice bath, so this morning, the other day, Jason wanted me to set up his ice bath for him because it was like 40s, 50s. So it was a perfect temperature for him to get into his ice bath.
Yep.
But we set it up for him, right? Well, this morning we got up and everybody went out to start doing chores. And it was like, what would you say, half an inch?
Probably close to like 3/4. It was
between half an inch and 3/4 of an inch thick of ice across the top. Like you couldn't just like knock on it and it would break. Like you had to physically like punch it and it like, but it didn't break the whole thing. Like it just put a little hole
in it.
And what was hilarious is the temperature was so cold today.
It froze back over.
That it froze back over. It didn't stay water. So like when you push it and the whole thing moves and it's probably like, well, it's not anymore because it warmed up a little bit today.
A little bit. I still had to have on a jacket and a hoodie working outside.
No, you didn't because you shed my jacket.
Yeah, but I still had it on when I went out.
I come back from town and I noticed my jacket on the ground underneath the wood splitter.
What else did you notice?
And I'm like, oh, look, there's my jacket. And then I look to the left of my jacket and there's a little black pig running around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, trying to get Ladessa's attention, but Ladessa has noise canceling headphones. And she had both of them on, and we've kind of asked her respectfully to keep one ear open in case we need to call her. But she wasn't, and so I came up I was hollering for her, yelling. I mean, I literally was banging on the thing, and she's like, "Don't try it," thinking I'm trying to sneak up on her. I'm trying to get her attention.
Because I caught you out of the the vision.
Peripheral.
Yeah.
Peripheral.
Nope.
So I got her attention, and we finally. Like, I was like, Ladessa, there's a pig right here.
So that just happened.
She's like, that must have just happened because I haven't seen her out.
And I've been, because, like, we have the wood splitter, and then I had the canine. Like, I was walking back and forth in the area where the pig was.
Yeah.
I
didn't see her.
I didn't see her.
So, anyway,
It's the good part.
Ladessa and I thought, we can handle this because literally these pigs, we've been really, like, hands-on with them while we're feeding them, like, putting our hands on them, petting them, tenderizing the meat.
Yeah. I will say that I have had to punch a couple of the pigs right in the nose. I know that sounds horrible, but they bite me.
They try to bite us. Like, I had to do that this morning. But were you really? And so we went ahead and Ladessa and I thought, this is going to be pretty easy. Like, while I was right there by the corner, they came up to me, let me pet them. Like I was like scratching their ears. So they weren't really difficult as far as us trying to get to them. so we thought, well, we'll just get.
I do punch Richard.
We do
all
punch
the time.
Richard and Stella both get
I
it.
hip smack Richard. Okay,
He tries to bite like my bat wings. He thinks that's like his lunch or something.
It's the most tender.
And so like I go to reach across to put the bucket out, and he
Right.
tries to bite right there. And I'm like,
He bite whenever I have like hoodies on or anything. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but he bit me while we were out there.
yeah, he's. I mean, we're saying bite. It's not like a like I'm about to take a bite out of you bite. It's more like a nibble bite. It's like a nibble bite. It's not like a, you know,
like
I'm trying to take your arm off.
It's like your grandmother with no teeth trying to eat a banana. That's what it is.
What? Where did you come up with this?
It's my brain.
Bat wings, lol. I call my bingo arms. So anyway, back to the funny part of the story. So Ladessa and I are like, yeah, we can do this. It's no big deal. We got this. And so we went up to there. We got a bucket with some feed in it because, you know, they come to feed. Mm-hmm. And the first one we got in fairly easily.
She walked straight in.
Walked straight in, and everything was great. And so we got her put in, and she was good to go. Well, then the other one was a smaller black pig, and we just couldn't get. Is it a girl? Mm-hmm. We could not get her to walk in. She, no matter what we tried to do, we had the bucket, tried to, call them back towards, lead her back with the bucket. She just
didn't want to go in.
And she was a little skittish. When she was by herself, she was a little skittish. So if we even slightly moved with a little bit of, not really urgency, but like if it was more than just like creeping up on her, she would just freak out. Mm-hmm. So
I did a thing.
Ladessa's like, just put the bucket down. I'm like, okay. So put the bucket down so that it was laying on its side with the feed in it. And this pig, I'm telling you, pigs, I don't care what people say, pigs are so smart.
I'm smarter.
They are incredibly intelligent. This pig knew that Ladessa was trying to get her. She absolutely knew it. And so Ladessa was the predator, right? And the pig was the prey. So with the bucket, she'd put her head in the bucket to eat. And whenever she would sense that Ladessa was coming near her, she would turn the bucket so that she could still keep her eye on Ladessa. Mm-hmm. And then Ladessa would stop. She'd put her head back down in the bucket. She'd think that Ladessa was moving, and she'd turn the bucket again. Like, no matter which way Ladessa was coming from, she would turn the bucket so that she could keep her eye on Ladessa. And so we had to work together to where I could kind of keep her guessing whether it was me or Ladessa that she needed to be concerned about, because we were on opposite ends of each other. Mm-hmm. And so we had to outsmart. We have opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
So Ladessa's like, I'm going to grab. And here's how this went in my head. Millions of times before, we have had to catch piglets. We get them by the back feet, and we basically wheelbarrow them in to where they're going. So in my brain, that's what I was thinking Ladessa was going to do.
That was the plan. That was the plan.
No, it was not the plan. And I'm going to tell you how I know it was not the plan. Because this one, instead of going for the back legs, went for the front leg.
Okay, pause. You just explained to them that she was turning the bucket
right.
to watch me. I could not get around to her backside.
Yes, you
this.
could.
I could not.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you finally got to where you could reach her leg, the front leg and the back leg were only about that far apart from each other. So you could have very easily snagged the back legs instead of the front legs.
I probably could have.
So, but this one decides it's going to be a great idea to grab the front leg and then immediately jump on.
So I grabbed her front leg and then I sweeped her back leg down.
I thought we were watching a rodeo, y'all. Like, she jumped on top of the head.
I swear, I
about this whole thing is Jason is here in the office, right? And there's a window right here. And that window is a straight shot to where this is going on. So, like, he starts hearing, because of course, as soon as Ladessa jumps on top of the pig starts squealing, right? And not just a little wee, it was like, I am about to die squeal. And of course, that alerted Jason that something was going on. And so I'm sure he looked out the window and saw Ladessa on the ground on top of a piglet, and it's like, what is going on here? And of course he gets frustrated, and I understand this. Of course he gets frustrated with us because he's like, why didn't you come get us? Or come get me so I could help? And the reality of the situation is we thought we could take care of it by ourselves.
Yeah, we did.
And then the plan escalated quickly to where we didn't really have the option to tell him to come help us.
Yeah.
And I had taken his phone because she was using my phone to listen to music. So I had his phone, so there was really no way of contacting him to be like, hey, come out here. I would have had to physically walk in here. And that, and I told him, we were about 5 minutes away from me walking in here anyway, because I was about done with it. We just needed a third body to be able to turn her, to be able to push her into the gate. But Ladessa thought that she would try her rodeo skills instead.
There was no try. There was no try.
And I even, before Jason came out, I was like, do you need me to just grab her back legs just so that you can get a better grip? Because all I could think of the whole time that you're, bouncing around, Ladessa was covered in mud and dirt because that pig was wearing her out.
I take pride in that.
I am telling you,
I have a bunch of cuts on my hands, and then I have the little bump. Here from where I got hit.
She was going to town with this pig, and so I was like, Dessa, do you need me to grab her back legs so that, because the only thing I could think of the whole time was she's going through.
It wasn't that bad.
Whatever.
You weren't there.
She was going through all of this, and ultimately she was going to lose grip of the piglet. And then we really weren't going to catch her.
No.
It was going to be a hot minute before we could catch her again. So all I
did.
But all I could think was, if she doesn't get a good grip on this piglet, the piglet's going to get away, and we're not going to see her for a while.
That's why I put my whole entire body weight on her.
She had her arms around it, her little butt, and it was so funny because Jason was like, okay, I'm going to grab her back legs. Yeah. And then he was like, Dessa, your butt's in my face.
So I had to still hold on to the front feet and turn my body.
Just so that Jason could get the back legs. So Jason got the back legs, Dessa got the front legs.
And we walked her straight in.
I opened up the gate a little bit, and of course I had to crowd manage the rest of them so they didn't bum rush the. When I got there, it was like, help me, I can't breathe. She still had plenty of fight left in her. Yeah. So we ended up opening up the gate because we could have. They're strong enough. They could have picked her up over and just laid her down in there, but I already had the gate halfway open. So they walked her in, and then I, walked out, and we secured the gate. So hopefully that will keep them in. We think what happened is a couple of the pigs that are still smaller, they keep digging a hole in between the two sides, because we have Han and Dora on one side, and then we have the piglets on the other side. And so what ended up happening is a couple of those piglets got up to the other side, because I guess they don't, their math doesn't math. They're just looking at, there's only 2 pigs over there that they have to fight for. Let's go! They only have to go through 2 pigs for food, right?
Yeah, they don't have to get.
They don't have to fight 5 other pigs.
Pigs
There's 8. There's 8 piglets in there, And so so I guess they decided, and I think what's happened is the way we were feeding before, they got fed first. And then Han and Dora got fed. And I think now, because we're stopping at Dora and Han first,
No,
you
I
have
don't.
to do a dance.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
I think that's what his...
Nope.
Dessa will do a dance on the live stream.
Luke, I'm gonna kill you.
Let's go.
I did not agree to this. This is child abuse.
Oh no, you were pointing out to me today that you're no longer a child. You're 17 years
This
old.
is abuse. This is harassment.
Yeah, you
no,
do.
I don't. Shut up.
Come on, Dessa.
No.
What you got?
Out of the frame. Did not agree to this. This is abuse. You get the
She'll do a
Macarena.
dance. You do the Macarena. You can kill me. I don't care.
I'm gonna go get some more drink. Do you need any?
Yes,
more
I need some more ice water. But anyway, so that was a lot of fun. That was kind of crazy. And then the worst part was we get back in the house and Dessa's got blood, and so then I'm like, great, she must have cut herself or something. I don't know. And so we had to kind of look at that, and we always take cuts around pigs very seriously because pigs are nasty. They wallow around in their own feces and everything else in the mud, and it's just disgusting. And so whenever we get cut somewhere near or dealing with the pigs, we always treat those cuts and scrapes almost immediately to make sure, flush them out, clean them, put hydrogen peroxide, alcohol, whatever on them, and then triple antibiotic ointment if it's a big enough cut, because we don't want to take the chance of getting exposed to anything yucky. So that was fun. That was definitely...
Never a dull moment.
Yeah. It's been a minute since we've had crazy like that. So I was kind of...
I don't know what you consider crazy. It is
Well,
cold in here.
You know, it's funny. How long ago was it that we were dealing with waking up with the pigs all the time?
It was August.
Yeah. So it's been about 6...
Because I remember that was probably the first week Carol was gone.
Yeah. So like 6 months of no crazy.
No, if this is another one, I'm not doing anything. Oh. Yeah. How does that feel?
I don't like you very much, Jason.
How does that feel?
Anyway, so
That sucks.
so anyway,
Ooh.
we haven't had any crazy like that in a while. I think the last time we had, remember we had the cows, when the cows got out not too long ago, and we were chasing them all over the place. Had to push them back down to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even that...
And then we had the Bucky situation with Bucky being up here.
Yeah. But even those are kind of like... even those are kind of, you know, not super crazy. Ladessa jumping on a pig and, like, making it her
Female
friend
dog.
was, definitely fun to watch. Please don't talk crazy in your reality. So now, we gotta deal with the cold for the next couple of days. Now, in my experience anyway, whenever it gets super cold like this, as long as you have adequate shelter and food for your animals, they tend to eat and bed down.
Mm-hmm.
They don't tend to roam around. Like, if you make sure that they've got shelter and they have food, they don't want to go very far. They're trying to consume all their energy, or conserve all of their energy, just to stay warm. And so, like, our pigs, I've noticed they've, like, close to the wall, they've built a nice little nest. They've dug out a nesting area where they can all lay down and kind of cuddle together so that they, are warm.
And it's kind of the same thing in the summertime too. Because they don't really want to go anywhere if you have.
If it's super hot, you don't want to, you don't want to be wandering around, running around.
And we're
either.
in Georgia, and we get apparently 18 in the winter and like 112 in the summer. I don't think we've ever been to 112.
No, no, but we've definitely gotten over 100 because I remember a temperature blanket getting above 100. Being excited about that. So, but we finally what we ended up. He's goading
people.
Luke, yeah. But so
don't fall for it.
So we
don't do it.
We've got that taken care of. The animals have plenty of shelter now, including the dog. There's plenty of food for, all of the cows have hay. How is the hay in the back?
Gone.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's gone.
I hate him. I hate Bucky. I hate him.
You're preaching to a choir. I had to flip the thing up by myself.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that short, it's pretty funny. Ladessa went back there to go check on him, and so what? So come on, ice, I guess is what he's talking about. Yeah, we're prepared for it to be not so pleasant outside. Yeah. I know it was nice when there's 4 cows back there, Robin. I know there's 4 cows.
There's
back
4
there.
cows back there, but there's one
jerk back there. Yeah, they look good though. I mean, they're not starving by any means.
No, they're not.
Because I'm going pop out if I don't come back before the end. I'll see y'all later.
You gotta do it.
No.
Yep. I had to do the Macarena.
Yeah, that was a half-hearted
So,
Macarena.
Call the hogs how we call our hogs.
Do you know how to call the hogs?
Heck no, and I never want to learn.
Do you know how to call the hogs?
Nope. I have no interest in learning. I don't need to. I'm going to a manual and then
Let me tell you, when I went. So if you don't know this, I went to the University of Arkansas, and while I was there, I was not prepared for how obnoxious the fans of the Razorbacks can be, to the point
really
where
obnoxious.
it's not just like they don't just do it at a football game. They don't just do it at a basketball game. Like, I went to a concert that was on campus, just happened to be on campus. It was a big enough venue that the concerts would come to the basketball arena. And I don't remember who it was, like Kenny Chesney or somebody like that. And they called the hogs in the middle of the concert. And I was like, are you serious right now? Like, how obnoxious is this? And so I had said they do it on a live stream. And so I was like, I'm not ever going to be that obnoxious. I'm never going to call hogs. That's ridiculous. It's awful. So I managed for all 4 years of college there to not call the hogs.
I don't know. I think you did it at least once.
No, I never did. I thought it was obnoxious. I could not bring myself to do it. I was like, this is ridiculous. So when the shindig came around in 2019,
that's when we got Gizmo.
Jess and Maya were helping put that together back when they were in Arkansas. And as you can imagine, the overall temperature of the area was go hogs, go Razorbacks. And so I told I made a joke saying that there's no way we're going to be able to make it all the way out to Arkansas. And if we do, I mean, like, I would call the hogs if we made it all the way out to Arkansas. Well.
We made it to Arkansas.
We went to Arkansas for the shindig. And there's actually footage out there of me calling the hogs on stage. And
VW, that's who it was.
Yeah, VW Family Farms. They got up there with me because they're Razorback fans, and so they called the hogs with me. So there's my friend. Tell him I shouldn't have to call the hogs there, Jonathan.
Yeah. You tell him.
Well, my
I danced.
The reason I have it on my phone. Yeah, he was there. That's right. Jonathan was there.
That's a nice. I need that.
And so,
I need that.
So, I tell you all this to tell you that when I do it now, there shall not be any critiquing because I am probably going to do it wrong because I don't call the hogs.
Do you need an area?
No, I am not going to get up and actually
you
do
need
it.
to do it.
So imagine a big, huge stadium, and it starts out, and everybody goes, "Ooh, pig suey!" Ooh,
I'm not joining you.
Pig suey!
Dad, you have to stop.
Pig suey! Arkansas Razorbacks or Razorbacks Arkansas, something like that. And that's how it goes. So, something like that.
Something about him having to get an ice bath.
Jason will make a short of him getting in the ice bath. That was quick. When I tell you it is nothing but ice on that bath right now, that's going to be fun.
Not me.
You can see that one went a lot faster. Everybody wants to see Jason freeze.
I think you should put more.
We will most definitely film that in the morning. Be looking for it in the afternoon sometime. I'll film it and put it together. Paul, how much of a time difference is it for you? I'm curious. He's overseas.
I have something in my eye.
It will go up after lunch. Yeah. Jonathan, you said you have it on your phone. Like, did you actually film? Like, I'm curious if you filmed your own.
I need that.
I mean, I made a short out of the footage that we had.
Because I'm telling you, like, if you guys play, like, I have things of my parents for dirt. I dare you to do something embarrassing at my wedding.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Also, to give you a shout out, 8 hours.
Ooh.
Okay. Found it. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'll send it somehow.
Yes! You have my Instagram, I think.
9 hours. Okay. Filmed it on my phone. It's so embarrassing. It was...
It's so funny.
I was like... And the bad thing, if I remember correctly, my voice was shot. Like, everybody got... do you remember? Like, everybody got sick. I think... I don't know what happened, but, like, all of a sudden... We all woke up with this, like, just awful
and
jump.
We had it when we were in Arkansas.
And so, like, we were, I remember that was when I first was telling everybody about tenting, where you get boiling water and you go ahead and put peppermint and lemon, eucalyptus, lavender, whatever, put it in there, and then you put your head over the bowl and put a towel over your head so that all of the steam gets into, you're breathing it in. And that was the only thing that kept us from being
going home
miserable. Yeah. I remember Natalie was sick. Like, we were all just felt awful. It was not fun. But I remember my voice being just about shot. and still having to do that. And I was like, I just had to have some, pre-COVID. Curious if it was that. I don't know. We actually came down with it, but I remember hearing about it. Yeah, we all got, it was, but see, that was so early in 2019. That was April. Now I do remember,
we had it again
later in like November, we got it, and it was really strange how that happened, because we got it, and then I remember going back to work, and I was still sniffling and coughing everything up, and I had a counterpart that I worked with in Texas, and then another counterpart that I worked with in California. And when I talked to them, and I was talking, and my voice was kind of shot, and I was coughing and everything, and they're like, wow, you sound like you're sick. And I'm like, I'm coming off of something, and they're like, oh, that's funny, we've got that, I've got that too. And then I talked to the guy in California, and it's the same thing, and I was like, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but
that's a head nodding.
I find it odd that we all have the same thing around the same time. So Jason said, share about our filming plans for the future and our YouTube goal. So, now that it's 2025, Jason and I have been doing YouTube for a very long time. And we've been very frustrated with the way the analytics and all the crap happens. But it's always been our goal to get to 100,000. And I know that seems like a lot when we're only sitting at like 41. But we still want to get there. We want to do everything that we possibly can to get there. And so that's going to mean making content. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just start every morning when we go out to do chores. We're going to go ahead and take the camera with us. So we're going to be doing footage of us feeding the pigs and mixing our feed buckets and, playing with the dog and milking the cow and all of that stuff. And then whatever project we have going on for the day or whatever we have going on, that's what you're going to see us doing for the day. And so we figure that if we kind of get in the habit of doing that and putting those out, that we can generate, a little bit more of a following, a little bit more of flooding the YouTube algorithm so that maybe it'll kick up, us getting a little bit more of our content getting out. So I tell you all this so that you can be aware of it, keep a lookout for those videos. And, the people that are in here, heavy supporters, long-time supporters, and we appreciate you for that. So if you see those videos, like them, share them, comment in them. We would appreciate that as we try to get towards that goal. What?
She came in here.
Uh-huh.
Obviously didn't get the attention she wanted. And just...
Oh, is that something y'all would be interested in? I mean, I don't know that there's any other... Yeah, I don't know that there's any other way for us to... Because one of the things that Jason and I have always had a hard time wrapping our brain around is the people that want to see that. They want to see you, get your coffee in the morning, go outside, it's cold, we're cutting wood, we're walking through and feeding cows and all of that stuff. And then, like we've talked about it here on the live stream, but, the filming that we did this morning was about, getting the wood ready for this cold weather that we have. And we have a lot of things, like Jason said, we have a lot of things going on. A lot of new things happening. Go get the wheel. The stuff that you don't want to eat.
Oh, the open one or the...
Don't get the fresh one, because that one still has to develop a line.
Yeah, I know, but the other ones, you have more than one.
I mean, whatever you want. So, one of the things, I think we talked a little bit about it in the last live stream last week, but I'm about ready to start filming making cheese. So that will be one of the things that we'll show. We'll show making that. I think I have gotten to the point where my yogurt game is like spot on now. When you're making homemade yogurt, especially when it's plain, when it doesn't have any flavor to it.
It's a Frisbee.
Oh, that's the second newest one. I love these. This one's about ready. So I learned from this time,
that is ripe.
time around, that if you are very liberal with the butter, when as soon as it starts to when it starts to develop a rind, like when it gets dried out on the outside, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's pretty hard. And so once it gets to that spot, if you'll take
making a blooper reel,
transitioning your homestead for your beginning, so we took raw butter and rubbed the raw butter all over it, and then let it kind of sink in. And then after like the day, if there was any excess, we kind of rubbed that off, because what I found is that if I left it on there, that's when you'd have more mold grow. So wipe that all off. And now, I mean, it doesn't have any...
It is checker pen. I like the little...
Yeah, so I've been drying my cheese on a wire rack, wire shelving rack that we had. And what I did is, just to make it kind of pretty, is I dried it this way and then I dried it this way. And so on both sides, it's got this checkered kind of pattern to it. But it's very good. Ladessa's not crazy about it, but to me, it's supposed to be a farmhouse cheddar. But what I have noticed is it tastes more like a Parmesan or a Romano.
See, and if I have that mindset,
right,
this cheese is really good.
Yeah.
But when I go biting into this cheese,
thinking it's going to taste like cheddar,
and instead it tastes like
Parmesan.
Parmesan.
It would be like going to drink your tea and it being soda.
Or, I mean, I don't really think that. I'm just kidding.
Huh?
Nothing.
So, if your taste buds are set for something and then it's something else, that can kind of throw things off a little bit. Jason said there's going to be some rants also because our state is killing us. Yeah, we have a lot.
Don't bite into
a lot of new regulations we're not happy about.
I'm gonna put this up.
Maybe making a blooper video, 1 in 2 or 3. Transitioning your homestead for your beginning to age. We're definitely going to be doing that. That cheese is amazing. Is that cheese? Yes, it is cheese. It is. Let's not talk about soda. Bad memories. That cheese, it's very good. And we made 3 kind of like back to back, and then I took a break. I just made a wheel a couple days ago. Started doing the flipping thing yesterday. So it will have to sit for the next 4 weeks. It takes about 4 weeks for it to age, to get to the point of the flavor that we have it at. We had tacos. No, we didn't have it on the taco soup. We had regular cheddar in the taco soup today. But tonight in our, we had chicken piccata for dinner, and we shredded that on top of it, and it was really good. Make sure your Dr. Pepper is your Dr. Pepper if you're hanging out with a bleh, That's gross. Ladessa, check on the dog. Make sure there's no piglets out. Oh, Big Bear Homestead Cookbook. Yeah, we've talked about that a million times over. But I just don't. The way that the internet is now, it's so hard. Like, you have to, I have certain things that I do that are different than what you find on the internet. So I would definitely have things to offer and things to put in a cookbook that you might not find. You'd have to cherry pick through a bunch of recipes to find. But I think one of the things that would be different with a cookbook that we would make, we would probably put a lot of stuff in about fermenting and like fermented stuff that you could eat. Like the cheese, we put that together, and I'm going to start playing around with flavors. I'd like to do like a chili pepper. I would like ideas for using my oils in cooking. Okay. Yep. We could definitely talk about that. But yeah, like I want to do some different flavors of cheese.
I'm a little cold.
I don't know why. The heater's right there. Deanna, you're my favorite person tonight.
What about me?
But yeah, we could definitely look into making something like that. Yeah, just have to put it together. That's the tricky part. I'd buy one, but it'd be a while before I used it, unless there's a carnivore recipes, which one of the ones that we've been doing lately is that one that I'd want to share is that goose breast.
What is that?
It's looks like it's little panda
it's
bears.
Little pandas.
Yeah.
You can barely see it because of the black.
How's the diet and fitness guys
Going.
Jason never checks Marco. Uh-oh.
He calling you out on the carpet. Wow.
I wonder if he turned off his notifications
He
accidentally.
probably did.
Yeah,
Well, no,
that's
because
possible.
he opens when I do stuff with the kids.
Oh yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but yeah, we the carnivore stuff. We did a lot of now, Jonathan, you're talking about carnivore. Like, how carnivore are you going? Like, are you just doing
All
meat?
in,
Or
like
are you
eggs?
doing like eggs and dairy? Like what? How carnivore are you? Because that's one of the things that there's a little bit back and forth about on, like, are you just doing animal-based products or animal-based diet? Because that was one thing when we were doing carnivore. I still had my cream with my coffee every morning, and I used butter, and we did eggs and cheese and stuff like that. So just curious.
I didn't realize exactly how cut up my hands are.
Yeah, well, when you start rolling around in the dirt with a pig, that could definitely happen. Beer, butter, eggs, and salt. Occasionally, I'll have some raw milk and cream in my coffee. Yep. Beer. I knew that's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
Beef,
that's
butter,
a real
eggs,
good.
and salt.
That's a really good.
So no
diet.
chicken.
No chicken, no
He
fish.
does. I don't think he
pork.
eats pork. I can't
No, he's
remember if
not.
he eats pork.
I don't think so.
But yeah, beef, butter, eggs, and salt. Occasionally, I'll have some raw milk and cream in my coffee. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of.
See if
That's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do. Carnivores. Oh, so you blocked me. better look into that.
Uh-oh.
I did start to think that was a little weird that we hadn't heard, like I haven't heard your voice in the background on any of his polos lately. As a matter of fact, I haven't really heard him on polo much lately. So, but yeah. Yeah, no pork.
No pork. Chicken
I'll
thighs.
eat some chicken thighs to change it up. Yeah. Because you have to eat more dark meat than anything, so. But, yeah, carnivore is just not sustainable for us. We've had more luck with counting calories and limiting sugar. That's the big ones. And I really have to get back to doing better with no sugar, because what I am noticing is that my joint pain and inflammation is much worse when I do things like eat ice cream occasionally or have sugar in my coffee. Or my biggest one lately has been I've been making hot chocolate for Ladessa every morning, and so of course I make it so there's some left over for me, and I've noticed that my joint pain has been up because of that. So
I don't drink coffee or tea.
yeah, and I've been trying to drink more, like water.
You would never know.
How would he know if you blocked him?
But you want to know what's funny?
What?
He knows now.
Right. So anyway, but yeah, we've got this year. We want our biggest goal this year. We're talking about YouTube, but our bigger goal this year is for our farm to start producing a profit. We are going to do our darndest this year to make it where we can at least get back what we're spending in certain things. So, and when I say profit, I use that loosely. For instance, the amount of money we're spending in feed on our animals, we want that to start turning around and converting into not having to go to the grocery store, that kind of thing. Which, for the most part, I was just doing the math today, and I didn't really think about it. When we have butter, when we're freezing butter, we're essentially freezing 7 cups of butter in 1 gallon bag. Okay?
Almost every single day.
And that converts into 2 cups is 1 pound of butter. Okay? And so 2 cups is 1 pound. So if I'm putting 7 cups in a bag, that's 3.5 pounds of butter. Okay? So when you're thinking about it, the amount of money in just 1 bag, if I pay $3 a pound for if I'm paying, just say $3 a pound for butter, then that 1 bag is like $10, right? A little over $10. So every time I make one of those bags, that's $10, right? We're doing that every day. So, and then you think about all of the milk that we're using to thin out, to spread out the feed for our animals. So we're already kind of getting there. But now we want to go a little bit further. And that is going to require us growing more food to be able to give even more to our pigs, as opposed to just giving them the food from the feed mill. Because right now we're averaging, what do we say, almost $500 a month
Yeah.
Between the cows, the pigs, the chickens, and of course the dog and cat. So you got to throw that all in there.
I might just throw him outside. He doesn't do anything.
Between all of them, we're pushing, and we also have quail too now. So we're at about almost $500 a month in feed, which is a lot less than it used to be.
Yeah, we used to be almost hitting like $1,000 a month.
But the nice thing is that I will say this: this time of year, if you're feeding animals, you're feeding them to keep them alive. You're feeding them to keep them warm. You're not feeding them for them to gain weight.
We are feeding them so much.
But right now, our piglets, who should just barely be surviving and scraping by and not losing weight, are actually growing in the middle of the winter, in the middle of the cold, brutal cold weather. They're, they're doing very well, growing constantly, because we're taking that milk and we're pouring it into their feed and mixing it in there. So all of that butter fat is getting down into, the feed, and they're using that as well. And we're definitely seeing that pack on the pounds with the pigs. So, and then we've been taking some of it and giving it to the chickens. We're mixing it in with the chicken feed. And it's definitely keeping everybody warm, keeping everybody alive, and actually putting weight on our animals. So I'm excited about that. But I'm planting the garden. I keep second guessing myself on everything.
You just need to plant it.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah.
And then look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
And replant it again for the 5th time this week.
I literally now have a thing on my GrowVeg that says alternate garden. Because I thought,
oh my gosh,
maybe we'll just, maybe we'll just take care of, planning it out. And I think my biggest problem is we can't decide on peppers. We have I think my last count, we had 14 or 15 peppers that we wanted to grow. So we have a lot of varieties of peppers, and I want to grow them all, but I got to be careful where I put them all so that they don't cross-pollinate.
Because then you end up with a Tabasco banana pepper.
Yeah.
That tastes
and so
really bad.
One of my things, and then the other thing is do I want to grow 147 plants of purple cayenne?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't need that many purple cayenne plants. Okay, especially when they come in a packet seed of 25. I don't need that many. 50 maybe, but not 150. Now, when it comes to something like jalapenos, I absolutely would like to have that many jalapenos, because we all know how many jalapenos it takes just to make a small jar of cowboy candy. It takes a lot. And so, absolutely, I want to have that many jalapenos. But the cayennes, they're so hot. They're so hot that I don't see myself needing that many cayenne peppers. We've mixed up our cayenne. We dried them all out. We ground them all up. And we didn't even grind them all up.
Nope.
No, I still have a Ziploc with a bunch of them dried in there. And I've been I used it on the taco soup today. I put that.
Was so spicy.
It was so good though. But we've been, sprinkling those on there, and it's worked really well. But the idea, and that came from 2 plants? 2 or 3 plants?
3.
Yeah, 2 or 3 plants.
Yes, they were great in our sausages.
So, and then I kept a couple of the green ones towards the end of the season, that we were cutting up to put in soups and, I want to have chicken and rice tomorrow for lunch.
Y'all wear worn out chicken and rice.
Well, then you can make yourself a sandwich. But yeah, so that's what I'm running into right now is, do I want, I want to grow poblanos. I want to grow paprika. Like, I want to grow a full square of paprika because we can dry all that out and, again, do the same thing where we have our own seasoning. I was even talking to Jason. I want to make smoked paprika. Like, I want to make the paprika and then smoke it.
Well, it would be great if we had a smokehouse.
Wait, what's it say? Our friends said our
hot was sweet, but I think
our hot sauce.
She could eat a nuke.
Yeah, I think she could eat a nuke. Yeah, I made some hot sauce out of Tabasco.
That should have been on the goal thing.
What?
Somebody gave us a super chat that we have to eat the hot sauce.
No. But
next week, people.
Maybe next week. But that hot sauce is, like, to me, it is super hot. And we let our friend from Mexico try it. And she was like, yeah, it's a little sour. It's not hot. And I'm like,
okay.
Burn my tongue off.
Yeah, that gives you problems in the gut department.
Yeah. Don't smoke paprika. I'm sure they'll burn the lungs. You know what I mean, silly. No,
You're welcome. I'm glad to be of service.
No, I don't know. I have to do the research. I don't know if they actually take the paprika and then put it into a smoker or if they smoke the peppers.
They probably smoke the pepper. They probably dry them out with the smoke.
Smoke? You think so?
I'm thinking. But we need to set up a cold smoke. Like with our original smokehouse before somebody decided to take the side of the tractor to it. I could be smoking sausages in it, but
yeah.
Somebody decided to go with the tractor. So
He's done that a couple of times.
Yeah, he has.
Took out Gizmo's.
Gizmo's pen, you know. But yet, when it goes in to get its services and it has all these bumps and bruises on it, it's
probably done like how you smoke salt, right? So that's what I'm saying is they take the salt but it's salt at that point. See, the peppers are still peppers before you dry them out and grind them and turn them into a seasoning. So I'm just.
You can fix it. Yeah, I can. How?
Did you say hi to Tim?
Oh, hi. I didn't say that.
But yeah, so, we have a lot of goals for certain things. And what I'm thinking, and Jason's going to hate me for this, but to be able to separate out the peppers from each other and stuff.
Wait, pause. Is Dad going to hate you for this, or am I going to hate you for this?
No, Dad's going to hate me for this. So what I've decided is we have some plants that are tall, that grow vertical, that could create a windbreak. And so instead of just having, one square of, because we have 2 different types of corn we want to grow, or 3 different types of corn we want to grow.
Yeah, you were wrong. I'm going to hate you for this.
And then we have 2 or 3 types of sunflowers, I think, that I want to grow. And then...
Hold on. So, if you guys see me on the side of the road when you're in Elberton, it's because I just decided to leave.
But then the other one is okra, right? We decided this year that we only need to grow 1 square.
1 square of 1 plant. That is all you get of okra. And there's going to be like 15 plants. 15 plants of okra. Because we overdid it last year. And now
it wasn't that we overdid it. What happened is that we planted it too close.
Carol had short time.
If we had planted it the correct spacing between rows, it would have been okay.
Instead, we just decided to go.
She only gave like 6 to 8 inches between plant rows.
Even that is over exaggerating. We probably had about that much space.
Yeah, it was not good.
In between.
Yeah, see, no, we need a couple of squares. See, that's what I was thinking. They just need to be spread out better. Like, we need to give enough spacing to be able to walk through it and be able to harvest, you know, appropriately.
Dad said masonry caulk. That's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. I said that right?
But yes, Niana, there will definitely be sunflowers because I'm going to do the Paradovic seed, sunflower seeds, which are the black oil sunflower seeds. We grew a bunch of those this year, and they turned out really... this past year. And they turned out really, like, I was really happy with them.
And more sunflowers.
And...
I want to grow, like, the big mammoth one.
Well, that's... So, I have definitely...
Chicken feed.
I did the Paradovic, and then I also put in the... Is it Mongolian Giant?
Yes.
No, Mammoth. It was the Mammoth striped. And then the other one is, and this is interesting. I gotta do the research on this. Emma Gardner has seeds that are, they're called Black Russian, I think. And pardon me while I look it up while we're sitting here.
French.
What?
Said part of my French.
But I wanted to...
Black Russian comes up with pictures of an actual Russian.
So the Black Russians, they grow up to 12 feet tall. And the flower head is anywhere from 15 to 18 inches. So to me, that's kind of what...
That's a sunflower.
Yeah, that's what Jason's talking about. That's the size that he's looking for.
No Russian. What about Koreans?
The Paradovic are more of like a feed sunflower seed. If you're like looking for that, the black oil sunflower seed, so that they use in like bird feed, the chicken feed, that kind of thing. And those, even those though, the seed, the heads, flower heads got to be maybe 4 or 5 inches.
They didn't get to be very big.
I had some that got about like that.
Yeah.
And that's about like probably 4 inches. So I can only imagine like 15 inches, like
that's pretty big.
Pretty big. But they get 10 to 12 feet tall.
I want to grow a plant that I was thinking of in my brain hole. Yeah, you gotta be patient with me. I only have about 2 brain cells left, and they like sometimes touch. What is it called?
Corn, squash,
Clear.
zucchini.
No, butterfly flowers.
Oh, milkweed.
Milkweed. Thank you.
Milkweed.
Woman, I gave you birth.
But we're gonna do.
You want to grow college education? I can't grow that for crap.
But we're definitely milkweed. We're definitely getting to where it's about crunch time. I gotta go ahead and bite the bullet and order my pepper seeds and eggplant.
Close to getting knocked out.
Anyway,
did you feed Gizmo?
You need to get this rice out of the.
Yes, that's what he's getting.
But yeah, so, alright, well, we've been on for an hour and 20 minutes.
And I have to milk.
And Ledessa has to go... Milk a cow.
Ledessa has to go milk.
Yes.
Really? you just heard me say that I have to feed Gizmo. And
you can't type fast.
Didn't you?
Give him a break.
Oh, also, look at my hair.
Oh. Girl.
That's what you get when you wrestle with a pig.
Alright, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks for all of the super chats. We appreciate those. even if we did have to do crazy stuff for them.
Never, ever again. Till next week.
We love y'all, and we will see you next week. Obviously, be looking out for those videos. And Paul, we will try to post that short first thing tomorrow. So it'll be something for you to watch before you go to bed tomorrow night.
Or eat your lunch. Oh, wait, no.
No, he said he's 8 hours ahead, so it'll be like nighttime. So we love y'all, and good night. God bless.